This Great Day St. Louis kitchen segment is brought to you by More for Less Remodeling. Get more for less.
It is back to school season, which means so many families are preparing for the routine of packing lunches for school. Fruit, it is a lunchbox hero. It's healthy, travels really well, and it's a friend to picky eaters. But the range of fruit options is really wide. So which ones are the best for your child's lunch? I'm not sure, but our next guest, she knows the answer because she's Dr. Whitney Linsenmeyer. She is in the kitchen sponsored by More for Less Remodeling, and she's here with some tips to help you pack your kids' lunchbox. It's good to see you.
You as well.
Of course, this is part of our Back to School series sponsored by St. Luke's Urgent Care. First off, why, in your opinion, both as a dietitian and a mom, is fruit such a good option?
Yes, so it is very nutritious, as we know, right? It's nice and portable. A lot of these are finger foods. And most importantly, I have two picky eaters at home. My kids will eat a lot of fruit. We go through a lot of fruit in a week.
I've noticed the same with a toddler. What fruit is the best, though, would you say?
So we can think about kind of 5 different forms that we will be presented with at the grocery store. And really, there's merits to each of them, right? I'm usually thinking about what is, shelf stable and which ones are going to have added sugars or not. So when we run through our options here, starting with fresh fruits, it's all in the name, right? There's no added ingredients or added sugars. Maybe the drawback here is they can be more expensive, right? Because they're going to go bad quicker. But otherwise, yeah, great option here with fresh fruits.
What about frozen fruits?
And frozen, really just as good as fresh. So a lot of times frozen fruits, they are picked when they're perfectly ripe and then immediately frozen. So they retain all of those healthy nutrients, and they tend to be a lot more affordable than fresh fruits. We just want to look for versions that don't have added syrups or sugars with them.
And it's so nice to just have them in the freezer and know that, oh my gosh, I'm out of apples today. No problem. I have this bag of mixed berries. This'll work. Let's get those
ready
out.
to go. Yes.
What about the canned ones?
So for canned, really the distinction here is what liquid they're coming in. So we want to choose the ones that are either packed in water or packed in 100% fruit juice, and to steer away from the ones that are packed in a heavy syrup. So this is like peaches in heavy syrup. It's going to have just very high in those added sugars.
So definitely read the label too.
Yes.
What about raisins?
So the dried fruits. So it depends on the fruit. Something like a raisin will not have any added sugars with it typically, but things like cranberries or cherries, they will have a fair amount of added sugars because the fruits are just naturally so tart that they need to add some sugar to them to make them a little bit more palatable. So not the end of the world. We just want to kind of limit our portion sizes, especially because those sugars will be concentrated and kind of sticky on the teeth.
But it's okay to have raisins maybe in the car because they can hold it in their hands, and that's a lot easier to clean up than these guys.
Yes, absolutely. Good car food, yes.
What about freeze-dried options, which I'm noticing more and more of in the grocery stores these days?
Yes, so freeze-dried, this is one where we really don't see added sugars a lot. It's really just the fruit, which is cool to see. And with freeze-drying, they take the fruit and they freeze it, and then they basically can remove the water content. So it goes from that solid to gas state and leaves behind this kind of crispy fruit shell. Great option, shelf stable, lasts a very long time. I think to me the only drawback is that these tend to be a little bit more expensive now. Yeah, so I have to kind of limit how much we buy because my kids do love them and they will just plow through a whole package in one sitting.
Yeah, I will too. I'm right there with your kids. Really good information. Eat your fruit, friends, and your kids eat their fruit too, which most kids love it. For more information, you can find this segment on firstalertford.com/greatday following the show. Kent and Matt, over to you guys.
Did you just say eat your fruit and your kids?
And your kids eat the fruit too.
Oh.
Right.
Don't eat your kids. The show's going off the rails.
That's a whole separate segment.
It is.